Okay. Hey guys, welcome to twitch.tv/elpikachon. My name is Rodrigo. Today we're getting back to our poison type adventure. We're getting pretty close to the end of the game. It's like I'm pretty sure that you beat the game and then you go on a mission to get Zacian and Zamacenta. So we're doing that too. Um, so yeah, I think that's how it goes. Hey Saint JW, what's up? So we're just doing a we're just doing a little raid to warm Petunia up. Yeah, this is a 5-star raid, so you know my guys are like level 50-ish, so they're probably not gonna be doing a lot of damage here. But we should get some good stuff that we can then either use or sell. And yeah, as we go, let me know how the sound is. I messed with the sound again. I think my voice is now louder than where it was before, but if the um, I don't know what speakers you're listening to this through. So if the game audio is too high, let me know, or distracting. It's like Pokemon doesn't give you a lot of auditory cues, so it's probably okay if we can't hear the audio very well. But there are games where like that does matter. Get them. Well, that works. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and catch it. I don't know if I have a Colossal in this already. Of course, we're not going to use it because it's not a poison type, but nothing wrong with just catching the guy. Here we go. Clearly, I need to sort my balls. Get, hooray! The nice thing, so one really nice thing is that once they implemented Dynite Ore, now that's something that you get in just like um, normal raids. So that's nice. No. Send to a box, please. Okay. Let's do another raid to warm up, and then we'll get into it. Petunia's back. Yep. Petunia's back in the saddle. We're just doing some raids to warm up, and then we'll get into the game. Do 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 do. Oh, how are the closed captioning thing? It's working. It's working okay. That's good. Yeah, it seems like it's a lot easier to get into raids at this time of day. Maybe my problem is that I keep raiding like really late at night. Both getting into raids and having the raids be full seems a lot more common. Is this guy gonna learn like something like drill run at some point? Mm, I don't think he's gonna learn any more things. I need to teach him. Earthquake, dig, bulldoze. Oh, I'm looking at Billion Diamond Shining Pearl. Um, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Stealth Rock, Drill Run. Do I have any drill runs? Well, we'll see. Yeah, games game's almost over. I would like my like big physical ground type to learn a physical ground type move. Please. Let's see if I have anything in my backpack that I can teach him. You know what? This is like very loud for me. So I'm gonna turn that down. There we go. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what the volume, if the volume's okay between my voice and the game. Horsepawn Mind says, I was just looking at ground type moves, and apparently the Japanese name for high horsepower is 100,000 horsepower, which is much cooler. Yeah, no, you're right. I wonder if 100,000 is like a much more succinct word, or like a single word in Japanese, because yeah, writing down, or what is it? Yeah, 100,000 seems like a lot of words. I guess I can catch one. I think I already have a Toxtricity. Ultra Balls. Oh, Petunia's hair. So creepy. The Japanese one looks like it's written as 10 followed by some Japanese characters, so that must be it. Yeah. That's cool though. That is a cool name for a move. Definitely better than high horsepower. Although high horsepower, I guess, alliterates. Okay. Yeah, if anybody out there speaks Japanese and have any further insight, I guess I hadn't. I didn't have a toxicity. This short-tempered and aggressive Pokemon chugs stagnant water to absorb any toxins it might contain. Gross. Don't do that, toxicity. Let's send them to a box. Okay, so you guys had heard me talk about this probably before, but I, um, yeah, it's gross. Um, you guys had probably heard me talk about how I wanted to do like a big, like a shocking wardrobe change for Petunia, and I was waiting for the game to be like, hey, something exciting or interesting or out of the ordinary has happened that will cause Petunia to like change in some or grow as a protagonist. But it really hasn't. Oh, I should probably turn on my light. There we go. Um, so I'm like, okay, uh, we have gotten hints that Eternatus is kicking around. So um, let's let's say that like Petunia is like because she's so in tune with poison Pokemon and Eternatus is poison dragon, that Petunia is hearing the call of Eternatus, um, and it is like influencing her wardrobe. So I got some stuff here. Um, nope. There we go. And then yeah, that's those are good. Good Eternatus colored socks. And then maybe I was thinking for this, like probably like because you know Eternatus has is like blue with like that pink core. Hey Harvestry, hey Lagnus. We're talking about giving Petunia like a serious makeover. Um, and I kind of have two options here. Option one is to use the dark type uh, thing, which also gives us a little belly button. But that might be too big of a jump for Petunia right now. Um, the other option is something like not that. Uh, loose top purple? Maybe I don't have another option. So yeah, I guess maybe let's go with the thing is like it has like the dark type thing is like very clearly the dark type thing, you know? I mean, I guess it's kind of closed up by the jacket. It's like but, you know, again, it's like within the context of the game, it's very close. So let's go with I thought I had a shirt for this already. Um, let's go ahead and change your shoes. Oh, hang on. One of these thought was good, maybe not. And maybe I want to... Yeah. And then maybe bare hands for now. Unless I have some... Maybe if I had some blue gloves. Yeah, it's not the same blue. Oh, maybe red. Let's just go barehanded for now. Yeah, so this is... What's happening? Hey, Vanir Elf, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So this is our we're doing a poison type run. This is our protagonist Petunia, and we're giving him a makeover. So yeah, this is Petunia is starting to channel the power of Eternatus, who is a poison type, and it is calling to her. Let me see if I have a better backpack than this too. I don't think so. White, brown, black. Yeah, this will be good. Black is fine. By the way, if you are looking for a good screen name, or you want to have like an artist name when you start your band, Frilly Rucksack, right? Hello, Cleveland. I'm Frilly Rucksack. It's like yeah, your band can be Frilly Rucksack and the Satchels. Oh, I wanted to see if they had shoes here. Uh, oh, good. Let's. Yeah, see, it's not the right color blue. I guess I can go with. It's kind of annoying because it's like the.
Had to swap onto laptop to do it between it.
Oh, thank Carve. Thank you for the what is that called? A subscription. I appreciate it. Um, Obviously, I really appreciate any time you guys subscribe. You don't have to, but it means a lot to me. You know, it helps to keep Smokey. It helps to keep Smokey's battery fresh, so he doesn't start randomly beeping. Oh, I already have that. Pink. Is it the same? It's not the same pink, but I think I kind of like it. Obviously, the game is not designed with my Eternatus sensibility in mind. And then probably the biggest thing is we're gonna give Petunia a haircut. So hang on, boys. We're doing it. Oh, wait, where's the haircut place? I guess I could like take her glasses off and give her like red eyes, but I like these glasses. I think part of Petunia's deal is like the weird buggy glasses. We don't want to change too much. Prime sub. Yeah, I like prime subs. Delicious. So here's what I'm thinking. Just like go on, like full on, like kind of villain turn, and just go with that, right? Because Eternatus is like, basically it's like blue and fuchsia. So blue hair with like that fuchsia core and some fuchsia accents. Um, and then we just have to decide what sort of bangs she should have. I kind of like these. I kind of like the big bangs. Um, but I don't know how they're going to play with the glasses. What do you guys think? Let's see. This needs to be a mid-season outfit change, not a time skip outfit change. Yeah, but that's the problem is that the game's almost over, right? I've been waiting for the game to give me something so that we can do a big outfit change. Um, but we haven't seen it. So I'm just saying that now, as we approach Eternatus, and as Eternatus is basically causing problems with like the Dynamax energy, um, we have to. She has to. We have to do this change now. Otherwise, we're literally going to run out of game, and she's never going to have changed her appearance. Lagnus says a Prime sub is like stealing money straight from Bezos. Ha ha ha! That's definitely right. Harvester says radical changes will cause rifts in the Petunia fandom. That's fine. That's something that I'm prepared for it. Uh, write down. Are you yeah? Are you classic Petunia or Eternatus Petunia? And you can just write E Petunia. You don't have to write out Eternatus. Um, Lagnus says I did start a Petunia wiki on fandom last week. Oh, seriously? If you did, that's great. If not, that's a good joke. But yeah, if you did, that's really cute. Harvester says, yeah, I'm liking that. The sweeping bangs look rad. Yeah, I like them too. Um, need to update it now. Yep. Into the glasses and bangs combo. Yeah, petunitis. That actually just petunitis. That actually just sounds like a disease. But yeah, yeah. I think we're going with the bangs. Look at that. No, don't reprint my Pokemon card because that's the next thing we're gonna do. Is we're gonna go make a new Pokemon card. But there she is. You see her? She has become more powerful than you can even imagine. Lagna says, I did not, just a joke. Work is wearing me down. Nope, that's fine. I I think it would be oh, that's not where you make cards. I think that Petunia having a wiki entry would be funny, but I wouldn't expect anybody to actually take the time to do it. Maybe the very diagonal bangs. Oh, yeah. Um, Horsepawn Mind says, "Wow, this look is really good." Yeah, I think so. It's like, yeah, like the first version of Petunia, right? Is like we wanted her to look like she had like a little bug's nest in her head, and it's like this one is like, yeah, now we've got a different design plan. She's like more edgy, and we're like using Eternatus as a basic building block. Let's see. Lagna says, but I did watch Doctor Strange and Moon Knight today, so slightly re-energized. Oh, that's cool. I watched Moon Knight. I haven't gotten a chance to see Doctor Strange, because also I haven't seen Spider-Man, so I'm like behind on the Marvel universe. Let's use Card Maker. Make a new league card. Okay, so this is our old league card of Petunia getting killed in an alley. So we can see if there's anything new that's worthwhile. Um, let's go with. Let's just go with black for now. And we'll see if we need to change it. No effects, no frame for now. Actually, hang on, let me look at the frames. Because, like, this frame is actually really rad, right? That's a frame that really fits, I think. Maybe we'll go with that. Yeah, this is a good frame. Go to the next step. Eternatus plus Petunia equals Eternia. Yes, she is the world that He-Man lives in. Um, Harvester says, at this stage, we as an audience are unsure if Petunia has done a major heel turn or if she's still dependable. Yes, right? This is like a weird anime time skip that you weren't expecting in the middle of things. I've started watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and there is a weird time skip, and I'm like, are we gonna go back to before the time skip to explain what's happening? And it's like, no, okay, all right. There's like a weird halfway through an episode time skip. It's really off-putting. Harvester says she got her big anime protag power up, but it's also unclear if it has turned her personality more vicious and dark. Yeah. Um, Lagna says both Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are better than X-Men Origins Wolverine, so there is that. There is that. X-Men Origins Wolverine, something that we were talking about in the Major Spoilers podcast. Let's change the pose first. Let's look at some of these new poses. Okay, that's something. I've always liked this pose, but I don't know if it'll work. Meow meow pose. That would have been a good pose for the previous version of Petunia. Let's try this, and then we'll get a I'll get a real close. Dang it. Okay. Change the expression. Yeah, she definitely needs angry eyes. I'm thinking that, like, very serious. I might try a different. Yeah, I'm gonna try a different. Uh, is there a lot of jujutsu? There is actually lots of jujutsu. So, um, yeah, if that's what you're into, then Jujutsu Kaisen is the show for you. Horsepawn Mind says, have any hot takes on Jujutsu Kaisen or just regular takes? I've been thinking about giving it a look. I like it. My main take is that usually the main thing that prevents me from getting into shonen anime is that I tend to like really hate the protagonist. That's why I never got into Naruto. That's why I never got into that's why I stopped watching like the Seven Deadly Sins. It's interesting but weird. It's weird that her eyes poke out of the bottom of her glasses. It's like you are taking a dirt nap. Yeah, definitely don't want to see her glasses from below. So that makes this pose like much more likely. Uh, yeah, I think we're just gonna go with the like I'ma punch you. Clear coating, matte coating, checkered foil, dot foil, bubble foil. This might be a bubble foil situation. I don't think we've done a foil for Petunia stuff, and bubbles are kind of a poison type thing. All right, there you go. There's our card. Should I center her head more? I guess I can center her head a little bit more. Uh, eh, eh, eh. That's a little better, I guess. Okay. Bubble foil. There we go. There's a card. Can we do Angry Eyes and a smirk? Yeah. I went with like serious, serious. Again, to sort of keep it like, is Petunia bad now? What's her deal? Harvester says, yeah, I think I finished season 1 of Seven Deadly Sins and I like the world building, but I don't know why they expected me to like slash root for the main protagonist, right? He's kind of a huge creep. Poison for real. Horsepoint Mind says, I love new Pokemon. I love how Pokemon makes us say things like bubbles are kind of like poison if you think about it. Yeah, poison is represented by bubbles in like a lot of video games. Lagnus says, well, it is late, so I'm putting the iPad here as bedtime TV and abandoning chat. Later, people. Bye, Lagnus. Thanks for coming by. Big Serious is legit. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is good. Flip the card, and there's our guys. All right. I feel a lot better now about going up against whatever we run into from here on out. Let me check my backpack. I was trying to see if I had drill run. Yeah, I have one drill run. Okay, we'll teach it to Rude. Oh, I forgot that the accuracy was so low on drill run. Oh well, that's fine. Should have probably just taught him high horsepower. But this is good because he's got a horn. So he had turned it into a drill. Um, was there something else? We'll just call that good there. Okay. Let's go see if we can get through the finals. Let's see. Harvester says, my partner and I are rewatching Inuyasha, and there are problems for sure. 200-year-old demon boy plus 15-year-old human is creepy, like vampires and humans is creepy. Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, Inuyasha's a weird show. It's funny to think what shows become like really emblematic, um, because of um, it's funny to think what shows become really emblematic because they're the shows that make it onto like Adult Swim or Cartoon Network, and like yeah, it's like a lot of people my age were really into Inuyasha, right? Or and even a little bit younger. And it's like I wonder if people in Japan are like, yeah, Inuyasha, or if it was just like a flash in the pan there too. Although I went through like there's like 10 seasons of Inuyasha, so that has to mean something, right? Oh, it's Hop. Hey Hop. You're not gonna comment about our new outfit? What the heck? This is it. Here at Wyndham Stadium, the greatest stadium in all Galar. You're gonna show everyone the greatest battle ever, mate. And set the world on fire. More like, set the world on poison. A phrase that now that I think of it doesn't make any sense. So I apologize for that. So get yourself checked in. All right. Harvester says it was my jam growing up too. It was Friday night anime when I was in grades 8 through 10. Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely into Inuyasha as it was coming out on Cartoon Network, I want to say. Um, and I don't know. There's a lot about Inuyasha that I like. Like obviously a lot of people are like really enamored of like Sesshomaru, right? Um, but like a lot of the characters were cool. I don't know. I definitely was not watching Inuyasha with a critical eye, so if there are any like big problems with Inuyasha, I do not remember them. Whoever makes it through this final bracket will win the right to challenge the champion. Not yet. I think I can actually swap Pokemon between rounds. But let's look at our party. Colossal, get out of here. You're not a poison type. Let's see. Uh, I think I do this every time, but I'm like, let me see if I have anything in my backpack that'll give, our Weezing an actually like fairy type move. Let's see. Harvester says the implications of the spin-off with their daughters is also yikes. I never saw that. Sesshomaru pulling a Woody Allen with his partner. Oh no. Oh no. Never mind. Horsepawn Mind says, wait, set the world on poison? Petunia is a fossil fuel CEO? Yeah, that's right. Harvester says, there's a cool character design for sure. And they did a good job making me care about interpersonal relationships. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a pretty cute show. It's good times. Scotty Mo says my high school friends loved Inuyasha and had me dress as the pervert monk for Halloween one year. A bit of cringy to accompany my brain for life. Yeah, yeah. That's actually why I kind of stopped watching Seven Deadly Sins because I was like, I don't like this character archetype. I don't like the like guy who is like pretty cool and a good person, except that he's a total sex pest, right? It's like, please don't. Okay, let's see if I have a fairy type move here. Draining Kiss, no. Again, I feel like I just did this. I just don't remember. Superpower. Yeah, no. Nothing there. Let me check the internet real quick and see if I can find something for Galarian Weezing that it can like learn. Because Fairy type is a really strong type. So it would be nice to have a Fairy type ability. Wow, it does not learn any Fairy type moves on its own. Oh wait, am I looking at the right one? Yeah. Oh, maybe I have to change it again. Oh, hang on. I have to change it to Galarian Weezing. Okay, no, it does learn. Okay, it does learn Fairy moves on its own. Um, it can learn Dazzling Gleam. I wonder if there's a place where I can buy Dazzling Gleam. Let's see if this says. Uh, it can be rebought from Watt Traders. It's a special attacker, right? Yes. Okay. Harvester says, but I'm also mad that I care when the primary ship is gross and we're supposed to, like, serial essayer Miroku ever. Nah, man, I'm not about it. No, definitely. Um, Saint Jadolo says, was busy a sec, nice bangs. Yeah, this is Eternatus Petunia. She's channeling the power of Eternatus as she approaches him through space and time. Harvester says, I'm also happy to move on if cringy and problematic issues in anime is not the vibe. It's okay. I mean, you're gonna have that. Another thing that like Jujutsu Kaisen really hasn't had actually is like that. Like other than like there's a lot of violence and some stuff is like creepy and scary and stuff, but yeah, nobody has been like perving out on high school girls. The thing that's like really dumb about it is that like they're like, "Oh yeah, these characters are in middle school." And I don't know, maybe middle school means something different, but it's translated as middle school. Um and I'm like, what? This character is a man. Like this is like a 19-year-old guy. And they're like, nope, he's in middle school, just about to go into high school. And then they show you high school students, and they look like they're 40. And I'm like, what is happening here? Um, Scotty Mo says, talked to my Pokemon obsessed nephew a few weeks ago, and him and his friends are amazing, writing their own entire regions, new types, creating starters. That's really great. That's super cute. Nope. This might be a this might be a fool's errand here. We might not find a guy who has Dazzling Gleam. Nope. Shut up. Harvester says Japanese middle school ends around 15 or 16. Okay, I can see that then. All right. Scotty Mo says, seriously, I was so impressed and I'm so thankful for the card game since his mom won't get the poor kid a game console. Oh no, that's sad. No, that's cute. That's super great. Harvester says, but either way, yeah, a lot of anime does not depict teens convincingly as teens and it's troubling. Yeah, it's like there are adults in Jujutsu Kaisen, and it's hard to tell the difference between them and like middle schoolers. Like there's definitely like chunky guy with mustache, and it's like, well, this is clearly supposed to be an adult. Still nothing. There is one. Oh, there's one over here. But yeah, definitely a lot of like there's kind of a main instructor character who I think is clearly supposed to be an adult, and he looks just like the kids. Like he's skinny, has spiky hair, and has like young anime face. And it's like, oh, like I at first I thought that the character was supposed to be like just a higher grade than the characters. You know what I mean? Like an upperclassman or something. But it's like, no, he's an instructor, and I'm like, that looks just like the children. Dazzling Gleam, eh? Eh? Okay, I think there might be one at the front door to the wild area. If this guy doesn't have it, then we'll just give up on Dazzling Gleam. Spend my watts. Try attack, overheat, bug buzz, wall charge, fire blast. Okay, forget it. Let's fly back to Winden. Good old Winden town. Harvester says, but either way, yeah, a lot of anime does depict teens. Okay, yeah, I read that already, but yeah. All right, let's just. I mean, it's still strong to have a fairy type body. I'm trying to see if there's anything here that gets like wrecked by something specific. It's like we got fire covered, we've got psychic covered, we've got ice sort of covered. Water covered. Dark. Sort of covered. Um, rock. Should be okay. Harvey says, I just finished Gundam Wing from start to finish, first time watching since high school, and it avoids a lot of the issues I commonly see, but also the 14-year-old pilots look 20 plus, and the supposed 19-year-old antagonist turned anti-hero looks fully in his 30s and acts it for that matter. Even if the show is trying to convey war forces people to age slash mature, it's wild. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, why even say that these characters are that young if you don't want them to be perceived that way? Horsepoint Mind says, is Root our way against Steel? Yeah, Root is good against Steel, and actually, Oakley has Flamethrower too, so that'll help. So that this covers us with Steel. Good old Rock, nothing beats that. Yeah, except in Pokemon, of course, it's beaten by Water, Grass, Steel, just a few things. But those normal types can't hurt you very much, that's for sure. All right. Time to get back in this. Rock is tied for the most weaknesses. Yeah. Is it? I thought that like Bug had the most weaknesses and like Rock and Grass were like slightly behind it. Scotty Mo says, do you think they'll ever veer from the grass, water, fire type starters? I don't think so. I think when we started getting when we got to X and Y and they did all dual types, or Pokemon that could become dual types, I was like, yeah, maybe they'll do it, but they don't, and they don't because um, water, fire, grass is a is a trinity or a triskelion, and you're like, well, dark, psychic, and fighting are also a trinity, and it's like, yeah, but this is a trinity that makes sense, right? It's like when kids see this, they know that fire burns grass, grass absorbs water, water puts out fire. So I don't think they ever will because at its core, as I have said many, many times, Pokemon is a little baby game for babies. And hopefully it always will be. Even if they add other features that make it more appealing to us ancient granddads, um, I hope that it always kind of remains a game that kids can play. Since you won your way through the semifinals, you must face off against gym leaders in the finals, and they won't be holding back. Oh no. Whoever makes it through this final bracket will win the right to challenge the champion. So, are you ready to go to the locker room now? Yeah, let's go. I'll show you the way. I should have probably bought like potions and stuff. Oh, I can talk to these guys. Let's see. Nope, Bug has 4 weaknesses, Rock has 5. Okay, alright. Harvestry says flying, rock, fighting. Sure. Like steel, ground, ice, right? It's like that would be cool, but also you have to think a lot harder about it for it to make sense, right? Flying, rock, and fighting don't have the same. It's like, yeah, but they don't have the same resonance as those three classic elemental types. Um, Horseborn Mind says the dark fighting psychic one has an immunity, which they probably can't do. Yeah. Horseborn Mind says as primary types anyway. Yep. So I don't think that they ever will. And even though I used to be like, yeah, they should do starters of like a different group, now I've kind of changed my mind. Hey, Pavs, you want to go outside? Guys, I gotta take my dog out. Hang on a second. Do do do. Here we go. You wanna go outside? Go outside. Go outside. Come on. This way, Pablo. Here we go. All right, sorry about that, guys. My dog is old, so
9 months and ticking.
wow, 9 months. Can you believe it? Our stream is now a fully formed baby. Good job, everyone, and thank you, Zemsi, for your subscription. I really appreciate it. Um, let's see. Uh, it is Pavlov. Yeah, let me see what. Da-da-da. Harvester says I hope they do uh, change them up. Um, Dark Fighting Psychic 1 has an immunity. Talked about that. I wanted to make a Horseman Man says I wanted to make a starter trio that gains the three starting types going the other way around. The grass one becomes grass water. Harvester says it's true. Yeah, the three elements are more intuitive. Harvester says Pavlov. Yeah, Pavlov's over here, but he's immediately gone back to sleep. So um, usually I like to show him to you guys after we've taken him out, but he seems tired. Um, Horsepoint Scotty Mo says Horsepoint Man. I could finally get my spicy pepper fire slash grass type. Yeah, it's weird that they're like making a little pepper guy and he appears to be the fire starter. So we'll see how that goes. Harvester says, also I was amused by the idea that he not only calls you big chicken because you are a large chicken, but that you are also control the flow of chicken like big pharma or big oil. Yeah, exactly. We talk about that because he used to be a conspiracy theorist, so I'm sure that factored into it. Horsepoint Mind says, I'm actually really hoping that's what's coming up with this generation. The cat could be a marsh plant, the fire crocodile could be a pepper, and the dog could have a little gun maybe. That one is hardest for me to pin down. Yeah. Um, I remember after X and Y came out, talking to Rob, and Rob had a really fun idea, which is that he wanted the types to go in the opposite direction. So the primary types go in one direction and the secondary types go in the opposite direction. So if you start with like Greninja being dark water, then um, the fire starter would be fire fighting, which you always get fire fighting. Um, I mean, we could click that over. Let's say the starter is fire dark, right? Then the grass type is psychic. No, is fighting grass, and the water starter is dark water. No, we already did dark. You guys know what I mean. I need to write it out. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Skippy says your dog is also handsome, so it evens out. Yeah. Let the little man rest. Yeah, he needs it. As long as we don't get Conquistador Dog, I'll be happy. Yeah, I'm very worried about that actually. Let's get a Fire Fairy starter. That would be cool. I would be into a Fire Fairy starter. I would be into like a um, obviously because of Petunia, but like I'd be into like a Water Poison starter. Um, I feel like they've been throwing in Ghost kind of randomly now with like Hisuian Typhlosion and obviously Decidueye. I'm like I don't know that we need that many more Ghost like starters with a Ghost type. Pierce says I'd say I aim to win this thing, and I'll do it without using Dynamax to help everyone in Spikemouth reclaim their pride and to see him smile once again. Yeah, very clearly like whatever Rose is doing with the economy has hit Spikemouth really hard, right? But nobody is like, well, this is Chairman Rose's fault, even though it is. The only real opinion I care about is Alistair's. My mask, it feels like it's gonna fall off. Alistair is the Pavlov of the gym leaders. I think I told you guys about this already, but whenever we watch a movie or a TV show, my wife and I like have this thing to say like who's the Pavlov, which is usually who's like a sad character or a character who's like doing their best, or whatever. So Alistair, out of the gym leaders, Alistair's definitely the Pavlov. He's like, I can't get my mask on, okay? I'm trying very hard, but I can't do it, okay? Um, oh, am I still on the BRB screen? Oh my god, I'm sorry, guys. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Jeez. Alright. Sorry about that. That's content for you. Now I have to repeat everything I said before. No, I won't. I'm not going to do that. Horseman Man says, I'm still surprised Delphox wasn't Fire Fairy. I'm not, because very often magic, like, this is magic, was kind of a psychic thing too. And that's just when the fairy type was introduced, right? Um, so I think they were being cautious. They were like, we don't want to have a fairy type starter because we don't know how the fairy type's going to play out. Now it would be very strong to have a fairy type starter, right? And it would be okay. Um, Semsy says, I can't wait to see the new Eevee. Oh, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get a new Eevee. Scotty Mo says, by the way, we still see the Be Right Back. Okay. Skippy says, normal Ghost was the typing I was hyped for. Sadly, it's stuck on a game you can't do PvP in. I'm sure you'll be able to play a Hisuian Fox guy, whatever it's called. Yeah, let's go. Here pretty soon. I'm sure they will be available in the main game as well at some point. Skippy the Wonder Chicken says, the Fish Taco Bonanza podcast ends when the camera comes on. Yes. Harvester says, them not making a starter fairy type when launching it, those games was cowardly. Yeah, there's actually a lot of weird stuff about XY, right? It's like, weird stuff number one, they don't have a fairy starter. Weird stuff number two, it's the generation that introduces Mega Evolution, but no Kalos, not Kalos. Is it Kalos? No XY Pokemon, no new Pokemon to XY can Mega Evolve, which is really terrible. It's like, it makes it weirdly less memorable. Like, people remember XY because that's when Mega Evolutions were introduced. They don't, like, it's harder to remember like individual Pokemon from it because Mega Evolutions took such a big step. So it would have been good for them to do Mega Evolutions and have some Kalos Pokemon Mega Evolve. They clearly learned that lesson, right? So now that they've done, now with Gigantamaxing, there are not Kalos, Galar specific Pokemon who can Gigantamax, right? Because they learned that lesson. Let's see. Horseman Man says, so there's a new Eevee, it'll probably be Dragon type. That's the only type that was special before the physical/special split that doesn't have an evolution. Yeah, I wouldn't read too much into that. Into like the physical/special stuff. I don't know. I know I'm in the minority in this, but I hope that they never give us another evolution. And the reason for that is that like, evolutions really clog up the Pokedex. Like, every main game has included Eevee, and every main game has to make space for 7 Pokemon, right? It's like every main game has, every main game except for one, and every main game except for one has also included Pikachu. I'm pretty sure. How much room do you have to make for Pikachu? Just 3 slots, right? For Eevee, you have to like open up like, yeah, it's like 6 or 7 slots, right? Eevee plus all the evolutions. The more evolutions they add, the more likely it actually makes it that they just won't put Eevee in another game if they need that space for other Pokemon. What's this? Creamy? Hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's see. Weird stuff number 17. They have 4 rivals and none of them is mean to you. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Harvester says, walk diagonal and sitting down were the big advancements for me. Nice. Skippy the Wonder Chicken says, a lot of people like myself don't play Gen 5, and Gen 6 brought us back in. It took me several years to figure out which mons were only Gen 6 and which were from Gen 5. I mean, I'm the same way because I skipped Gen 3, Gens 3 and 4. So I came back in Gen 5, but also I don't pay very much attention, so I forget which mons are from which generation anyway. Hey, Creamy, thanks for. Is it creamy? Creamy? Well, what do you prefer? Um, Fun fact: you can get Growlithe in every gen. Well, there you go. But again, how many spots does Growlithe take? Only 2. Eevee takes up a lot. All right, we need to focus, guys. It's time for the fight. Will you be heading into the pitch? The opening ceremony should be starting soon. I'm ready. Then in you go. New haircut, Petunia. Gonna show it off to Galar. It's Leon. Probably goes without saying, but hello, Galar. I'm Leon. The chairman is tied up with some business, so I hope no one minds me stepping into. I can't read it that fast. In order to lead you all through the greatest heights of Pokemon trainers of the Galar region, the time has come for you to battle it out until only the greatest challenger remains. So, on behalf of the chairman, allow me to say, let the final matches begin. Oh, that one you leave up for a while. Wait, you? Oh, it's Speed. Audience, who's that? Everybody's like, who is that? A moment, if I may. Does anyone here even remember me? I am Bede, the challenger who was forced to withdraw from the gym challenge. We do not remember that. Bede, he's the challenger endorsed by Chairman Rose himself. I guess they do remember him. I have a score to settle with Challenger Petunia here. I'm aware that this is against the rules, but I must ask nonetheless. Let me battle her. I'll stake my career as a challenger on this battle. If I lose, I'll retire from being a trainer. Oh, snap. What an unexpected turn of events. Former challenger Bede has come for one last battle. Also, we don't really have rules here, so we're gonna allow it. We're currently debating what to do with Challenger Bede. To all our viewers, both here in the stadium and at home in front of the telly, we ask that you please be patient. Don't they have just like herdiers around to like keep people from getting into places? Bede says, I know this is ridiculous of me, but I had to say something, to do something. Ever since you showed up, everything I've done has gone wrong. It was Oleana who asked me to gather wishing stars for the chairman, but then the chairman himself disowned me. And then the strange old lady comes out of nowhere and drags me into a boot camp on fairy-type Pokemon. Do you have any idea what I've been through? Covered in pink, dealing with quizzes and battles? I mean, it kind of sounds like you've been on a better adventure than I have. With fairy-type Pokemon every day? Fairy-types are cute. And here I am pouring my heart out to you when I've never lost my cool before. We've reached a decision, ladies and gentlemen. The champion himself has accepted Bede's sudden interruption. Is the champion showing his love by giving every trainer a chance to grow stronger? Or is it a trial for Challenger Petunia? Yeah, Leon's trying to tire us out. Leon wants to tire out Petunia, who is clearly the threat here. My will hasn't been broken yet. Alright. Bede comes in with a steel chair. Yeah, pretty much, right? It's like, are there rules here? Let's see, what are people saying? Woo, go Petunia, says Skippy the One Chicken. Just assume new Pokemon are all from the latest gen. Oh, it is a new haircut. Yeah, she got rid of the beehive. She did. She is channeling Eternatus now. So, she's gone from like a purple and yellow, like wheezing, like coughing palette, or Ekans palette, to like a blue and fuchsia Eternatus palette. And she changed her haircut and has different glasses now too. I don't know why I talk about Petunia like she's a separate entity. It's like we're all just watching a movie and occasionally Rodrigo does a fight. Yeah. Harvester says they don't let you have beads in here. Orzoman says, Big, I can't believe the ref is allowing this energy. Absolutely. He's a loose cannon, but he gets results. Yeah, Bede comes in with a steel chair. I want to see that game. Yeah, definitely Zemcy. Harvestry says, "Oh, thanks, Leon. Cool of you to continue to subvert Petunia's agency and abiding to the structure." Frickin', frickin' Leon. What the heck, man? All right, let's dispatch Bede with the quickness. Yeah, see, he sends out Mawile. Is like, oh, what are you gonna do against the Steel Fairy type? Is like, how about a ground type, chump? We face too much to quit now. We've got no choice but to win. Let's see what the levels are here. Okay, so I'm always worried that I'm gonna be like under leveled or over leveled, but it looks like we're gonna do just fine. Yeah, get him, Skapow. How you like me now? Yeah, this little poison girl is going to take my title is definitely what Leon is thinking. Harvey's just adding the quote, Beat comes in with a steel chair. Let's see if it added it successfully. Yep, there you go. Good job, Skippy. Are you on here more than? Are you on the quotes more than once, Skippy? I feel like you've gotten one other one, maybe not. All right, good job, Harvestry. I appreciate that. Root grew to level 51. Dr. Violet grew to level 55. Why does this one? Why does quote number 1? We're not torturing dogs in here keeps coming up? Oh yeah, your butthole. Right, I forgot about that. I didn't see what he was sending. Let's keep current Pokemon. This is Fairy Psychic, right? So that's going to resist... Oh no, it's not going to resist Poison. Poison Jab it is. I always get thrown off by types that only go one way, right? That do super effective damage against the thing, but don't resist it as well. Like, I can never remember types that do that. Crud Papers. Gym Litter Bead is about to send out Rapidash. That's also Fairy Psychic. So this should be okay. Skippy the Wonder Chicken says, should have added my Slim Shady jokes back in the Ice Gym. I'll go back through the tape and see if anything needs to be added. Psycho Cut. Biggity biggity bow. Whew, that was close. We might just swap out here just to give Root a break. Another Psychic Fairy? Man, there's a lot of Psychic Fairy Pokemon. What do I want to hit this with? Well, definitely Poison. So let's put out Oakley. Does Psychic resist Psychic? If it does, then we'll be in good shape. The clips and vids have been killing it lately. I'm glad you think so. I'm really having a good time putting stuff on YouTube. Okay, is this his last Pokemon? He's probably gonna Dynamax it. It goes to show the magic bond shared between Fairy and Psychic. Yeah, I get that. Horse One Mind says Psychic resists Psychic. Okay, good. Then we'll be in good shape here. I guess we might as well Dynamax since he's clearly going to Gigantamax that Hatterene. Let me real quick, since Skippy brought it up. You can click on that and go to our YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, do me a big favor, go over there and subscribe. We've just passed 100 whole subscribers, right? So obviously it's very small. We're just starting out. Right now it's just clips from this channel, but someday we'd like to do more with it, my wife and I. So yeah, if you get a chance, hit that like'ems and subscribe'ems. Let's go with Dynamax and Max Ooze, right? It's like all of these hit harder. Let's open with a Max Ooze and see where it gets us. Post clips of your animals. Yeah, I should. I need to do that more. Harvester says, I like Hatterene a lot. It's a real weirdo, and it's got pizzazz and looks like a Pate goth witch. It does. I like Hatterene, too. It's, like, really weird. Truly a great pink. What? Yeah, I think we talked about it, but, like, G-Max Hatterene is basically a mech, right? It's like she's in there, like, piloting herself. Very weird. That's pretty good. We can probably hit her with another, and it adds to her special attack, so that'll be strong. So this should be neutral. Oh, you did say psychic resist itself. I'm like, can I take advantage of this psychic terrain and hit her harder with Max Mindstorm? But no, I'm just gonna go with Max Ooze again. Get her, Oakley. Yeah. That's right. You get out of here. Let's see. Oh, pastel. Harvester was saying pastel. I thought maybe you were saying like pate, like she's made out of goose liver pate. But I'm like, she's probably, like, she looks like she's made, like, if you've ever seen like marzipan candy, that's kind of what she looks like. It's like the colors are more like cotton candy, but if you've seen like decorated, like almond paste marzipan candy, that's kind of what she reminds me of. So, maybe more marzipan. Skippy the Wonder Chicken says, isn't Grimmsnarl basically in a big hair mech? Maybe. I think I don't remember exactly what his like face structure situation is, but maybe. Horseman Mine says she lives inside her own head. She's Resplendent Tiger. That's right. Hey, that's a deep cut. Good job, Horseman Mine. Harvester says Hatterene makes a fun support critter in Dynamax fights. I agree. Yeah, go for the deep cuts. Yeah. Harvester says Pokemon based on the Moon/Void monsters would be cool. Yeah, she looks like a marzipan and fondant. Yeah. Yeah, Moon monster Pokemon would be rad. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what Solgaleo and Luna, or what Ultra Beasts were going for, right? It's like, what does Cosmic Horror look like in Pokemon World? It looks like a really beefy mosquito, and like whatever Stakataka is. Stakataka is an Ultra Beast, right? I couldn't win, but at least I was able to show everyone how great fairy types are. We all know it's literally the best type, Bede. You didn't have to do this. Well, I lost. It looks like Challenger Bede was no match for Challenger Petunia and her trusted team. Hey, Bede, that was some match. Some random person screams from the audience, I guess. Don't retire, just restart your career. But this isn't what I planned. If I was able to defeat you, then everything would be fine. Even if I lost, I was going to use retiring as an excuse to get away from that old lady. You just keep messing up my plans. With everyone cheering me on like this, I have no choice but to continue my training as the fairy type gym leader. Though I suppose with my talents I'll be able to overtake Miss Opal in no time. The stadium is filled with voices cheering on these two young trainers. Now, Challenger Petunia, please head back to the locker room so that you can rest up from that unexpected match. Are there rules here? Rather surprising for Challenger B to barge in like that. In any case, once you are ready, please head onto the pitch. The finals are about to begin. Okay. Skippy the Wonder Chicken says, Cosmic Horror is just bugs. A literal building, yes. And a jellyfish. That's true. But for instance, I'd love to see a fire dark line culminating in the candle heads. That would be cool. Horsewoman says, poor bead. Skippy the Wonder Chicken says, they really missed the chance at balancing bug or ice. Ice being immune to fairy or bug being super effective against fairy would have changed the game. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, and that's a change that I would be okay with. If they reversed, if they basically, because I think fairy resists bug. So if they were like, okay, bug is now super effective against fairy and resists fairy, that would go a long way to making the bug type a lot better. Um, yeah, it's just like bug is just weak against other types that are already very good because it's weak against a bunch of stuff. And it also is not super effective against a lot of good stuff. It's like it used to be that because psychic was such a dominant type that bugs actually being able to deal extra damage to psychic was really good. But then the dark type was introduced immediately. And it's like, well, you don't need bug with all of its weaknesses since you have the dark type, which is like psychic, kind of off doing its own thing. Although it's nice that bug does deal extra damage to dark, so that's good. Um, Skippy says, I see we've both watched the Wolfie video. I did watch that video where he was talking about fairy types and possibly reversing that. But unlike Wolfie, I don't feel like ice needs to be powered up because ice is very powerful offensively. So I think ice just needs better Pokemon that exploit what ice is already good at. Whereas bug has gotten some really good Pokemon, and they're bad, right? Even though their stats are good and their abilities are good and they're cool and they do cool stuff, like bug is just like a big part of why bug is underpowered is not just that it's fundamentally underpowered, but also it drags down its good stuff, and also it's not given a lot of good moves on top of that. Harvest says, I'd like a cold iron ice type move that is super effective against fairy types specifically. Yeah, I think that's something you could do because of, what is it, freeze dry? You could turn ice into the type that has the like specific hate moves, right? And you could do like something like cold iron against fairy. You could do something like you could just call it extinguish against fire types. Um, you could have something like what else? What's neutral to ice? Like brain freeze, and it's something that's like super effective against psychic types, right? It's like that's something that you could do without changing what ice is strong or weak against. You could give ice these like very specific hate moves, and I think it would power it up, but not in a way that was overwhelming, right? Um, yeah. Horseman says, I think Ice's biggest issue is the design. Ice meant to be the attacking type, but so many ice types are designed to look bulky and defensive, which makes sense given glaciers and icebergs and stuff. Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Is that ice is meant to be an offensive type, but we don't get that many offensive ice Pokemon in every generation. Harvester says the way that there's an ice move super effective against water types specifically. Yeah, exactly. Skippy says fighting being strong to dark is great for old people on the internet. We all know the reference. Oh, like attack the darkness. Yes. Harvester says, yeah, making that ice's niche would be dope. And yeah, freeze dry. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, that's something like I thought a lot about that, and I'm like, you don't need to change what ice does. You just need to like design some new things for Ice to do, and Ice would be fine. But I feel like you can't do that with Bug. Like Bug is too weak to good stuff that you, if you wanted to power up Bug, you need to change that, or you need to stop making good, cool Bug Pokemon, right? Like if you're just like Bug is the bad type, and like here's this Pokemon that otherwise would be good, but it's like pulled back to the middle because it's a Bug type. Like you need to also show us that visually, I guess. I don't know. I would rather they didn't do that. Okay, let me look at my Pokemon. I don't know who I'm facing next. Am I facing the challengers in the order that I faced them to begin with? Like the gyms? Because then that means the very first gym is a grass gym. So I should be okay, although I probably want to switch out Rude. We'll swap the little veggies. Does everybody have a thing? I'm gonna give little veggies the sludge actually. Yeah, man, I'm just like, oh, should I bring peppers? Because like fire types are just good, like they cover a lot of stuff. But it's level 56. Yeah, I'm not gonna bring her for this. If we determine that in fact the I'm facing the each gym challenger or each gym leader in order, then I'll probably bring her. This would have been one of the places to bring her, but we'll see. Let's see. Skippy the Wonder Chicken says the way to fix the typings is not to be game freak about it. Just make good stuff for once. Yes. Just like look at your own game and design stuff around it, man. There's like lots of good stuff to do here. Zemsi says no more bug Pokemon. Yes, the way to fix bug Pokemon is to Scarlet Witch this junk. Harvester says the great thing about making discrete ice moves that do that versus a bunch of types is that even if you have a wide array of options for those, you still have to choose some, and the opportunity cost could make it impossible to prepare for everything. Right? It turns ice into that sniper type, right? Where it's like if there's a Pokemon that's just like becoming very common, like that's let's say Zacian, right? It's like Zacian is too common now. Um, and it's like you come in with the ice type move that is like specifically good against steel. It's like that gives you a way to snipe Zacian, but not Calyrex or like any of the other guys that are on top of the meta right now, right? It's like if you can very specifically bring that Pokemon, keep it in your party, and if you see a Zacian based group or whatever, although there's lots of good steel types, you can bring that guy in. And if you miscalculate and they don't bring Zacian, now you're stuck with an ice type, which is weak to a lot of stuff, right? So yeah, I think that you could really do that. Um, Skippy says even harder to choose if you add Protect as a must-have, then you can only show up with 3 moves. Yeah, exactly. The two trainers to face each other in the first battle of the first round are a trainer endorsed by the champion himself, Challenger Petunia. Her opponent is, oh no, the Raging Wave, Master of Water Types, Nessa. Hi, Nessa. It's good to see you again. Nessa says, I can tell you've grown far stronger since you faced me in Holbury Stadium, because you've had at least one makeover since then. I've got to hand it to our undefeated champion. He got a proper eye for talent, too. But you're not the champion, and you'll never become the champion either. Do you know why? It's because I, Nessa, I'm going to defeat both you and Leon. I'm not going to underestimate you again. I'll use a Dynamax to wash you out to sea and beyond the horizon. Nessa! It's cool that she, what are those, lure balls? Or like deep balls? I forget what those are. But it's cool, it's cute that she has her Pokemon in those. Sonia might be disappointed, but I'm going to wash your team away. Oh, you threw in a bug type. I see. Well, let me introduce you to my boy Toxic. Grass resists bug. No, not grass resist. Poison resists bug, so this should be even. All right, let's enter a fugue state. Let's go with Petal Dance and see if we can't just plow through everything she throws at us. Get out of here. Pelipper? Wow, she is like really geared against grass types. Boom. Doesn't matter. Good range setup with that Pelipper, though. Let's see. Fancy meeting you here, Nessa. Yeah. Um, Zemzi says, I think she just threatened to drown you. I was like, yeah, she's really serious. Skippy says, I like that you have to beat all of these people over days or weeks and somehow they still get top speed in the bracket for the championship. Yeah. Really, I think what it is that in Galar, this is about the gym leaders, right? And they're like, well, we should have a thing where like people can compete to get in there, but it's super hard. It's like qualifying at it's like you can either play some events and then immediately get into the seed, or you can go to the finals and go through pools, right? And just grind and grind and grind and grind until you get in. That's what the challenge is for like the challengers. So that's what Petunia did, right? Petunia went in through the pools and beat everyone, um, and that gets her into the finals. Let's see. Harvester says, so the gym leaders are trying to overtake the champion too. Have they beaten all the other leaders for this opportunity? How does this work? Yeah, I think that's what it is, right? It's like this is actually in Galar. It's probably always been about like the top players having their own little tournament, and finally somebody was like, we should allow one normal person in here, right? It's like one exceptional person that has already beaten everyone gets to go in here. But I'm guessing normally that doesn't. I mean, I'm guessing when Leon did it, he became champion, and then no one's been able to beat him ever since. Because nobody says, oh, Leon was like the former fire type um, gym leader or anything like that, right? Leon was clearly somebody was coming up through the ranks. Harvester says lure and dive balls. I think, yeah. Skippy says, I had to beat so many tournament organizers to get here, and they all got free tickets to the final event. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Auto rain or no, lol. Imagine bringing a Pelipper to a league match on purpose. Yeah. Skippy says this is just an invitational with like 3 open slots for scrubs and Bede. Yeah, the Bede showing up was like clearly staged. Zemsi says what the organizers don't realize is that now they've set a precedent for things like Bede did. Yeah, absolutely. They shouldn't have done that. Harvester says Petunia gets to be the tribute, except that they weren't expecting the tribute to be a considerable threat. Yeah, exactly. No one expects Petunia. Barrascuda. Okay. Oh. Oh, I guess I can... I guess I can interrupt the pedal dance. That or the pedal dance has ended and now Little Veggies is confused. Nope. It's not over yet, so... Okay, Ice Fang. That's fair. Now, how about a pedal dance? Get out of here. Little Veggies in the house. Let's see. Hope you're well, Rodrigo, representing the poison type with that coughing. Yes. It's talking. I keep talking and talking and talking and talking, and like, it's louder than I usually do it, because I'm like performing. So my throat just got a little dry. Um, Skippy says, don't Hop and Marnie show up in this scrum as well? They showed up in the quarterfinals and semifinals. Or in the quarterfinals. And this is the semifinal? I don't know, it's confusing. But yeah, basically, they were in the same track as Petunia. So only one of the scrubs gets to come through. So it was Petunia in this case because we beat both Hop and Marnie. Okay. Yeah. Sea King is a dragon type? Am I thinking of the right thing? Or is I've completely blanked out on who Sea King is. Oh, right. I was thinking of Seadra. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about Sea King. Let's hit it with a grass pledge and see how that goes. Okay, Aqua Ring, good move. Little Veggies is confused. Okay. Yeah, Seadra and Kingdra, yeah. Skippy the Wonder Chicken says, Zam, or possibly Dang, I missed too many weeks of lore, yeah. Harvey says, look at Little Veggies surviving so much. Yeah, usually I've already sacrificed Little Veggies to get a leg up on the next round. And this time he's not letting himself get sacrificed, so good for you, Little Veggies. Yeah, I was thinking Kingdra. Seadra and Kingdra, yep. Seeking the Forgettable. I actually like Seeking. I like how stupid he looks. Like, Magikarp is like designed to look stupid, but I think Seeking just looks like a stupid goldfish, so I don't know, I kind of like that. Also, it gets like Lightning Rod as a hidden ability, I think, which makes it like which would make it really strong in like electric type matchups, except that its stats are terrible, so it doesn't matter. Golisopod. Um Let me keep current Pokemon. See if Little Veggies can just carry it. Like, this Golisopod is about to drop anyway. I'm going to take a turn to do Synthesis, because I don't think I ever in this game. Yep. Little Veggies is confused. Little Veggies use Synthesis. Alright. Now that we're both healed back to full, Horsepoint Man says I was living on Lake Superior and commuting by ferry. The summer Pokemon Go was really big, so I had a super powerful Seeking. That's good. Yeah, that's cool. Harvester says in Gen 1, Goldeen and Seeking had the main draw that they had Peck leveling up as a horror for grass types. Yeah, the Horn Drill later was meant to be neat. Lightning Rod is a solid niche slash gimme, or yeah, yeah, but unfortunately, like, by modern Pokemon standards, I think Seeking stats are just not very good. Let's hit it with a Toxic again. Oh, you're getting a long ad break? Well, thank you for watching the ads. I don't want to pedal dance again because I don't want to get confused again. And I want to be able to Gigantamax if I have to. Yeah, here we go. I think when this comes out, it triggers her scripts. So I'm going to go ahead and Gigantamax now. Little big veggies. Big little veggies. Yep. Flood the stadium and make it our ocean. Dreadnought type to Gigantamax. Rawr, G-Max Dreadnought. G-Max Vine Lash. One hit. Get out of here. Gonna pave my way in blood to the championship. Pokemon gained XP points. Let's keep the current Pokemon. Looks like I'm down to one last Pokemon. I've been saving the best for last. No, you haven't. Your script got flipped because Golisopod, Golisopod's ability caused it to go back. But yeah, I guess G-Max Vine Lash. Get out of here. Yeah, little veggies. Yeah. I like how pissed off she gets. You had no problem handling our surging might. It's no wonder that you won. Yeah, I just have a good grass type. It's tough. I understand. I, of all people, Nessa, understand that it's very tough when you have a monotype team. So don't feel bad about it. Gonna pay. Oh, thank you. Gonna pay my way in blood to the championship. Let's see. Skippy says, so for anyone into free fighting games, I just found out about TMNT X Justice League Turbo, and it might be my favorite fighting game ever. I had heard about that. It's interesting. I don't know anything about it though. Nuzlocke runs of Fire Red, Leaf Green made me fear Goldeen and Seeking. Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, Nuzlocke's really changed things. So definitely Pokemon that are like meh in something once you have Nuzlocke rules is like, oh no, this Pokemon's actually good. Like I hear like basically like Chansey and Blissey are like unstoppable or like incredibly good in Nuzlocke just because they're so tough and they have so many hit points. Skippy says there's so much veggie. Yeah, veggie dip. Um, yep, blood. Flood the arena. What is this? Some kind of challenge for a dwarf cleric of the Raven Queen to convince Grumsh to lend his support to the Celestial Crusade? Nice. More deep cuts. Good job, Horsepawn Mine. I like very like so many egotistical creators. I appreciate references to my own work, so thank you. Skippy says, "Oh no, I've been defeated by Lil Veggies again." She defeated Nessa during the gym challenge and now has pulled it off again. You and your Pokemon are just too much. Even with my Dynamax partner, you weathered our waves and stood firm. Yeah, actually, that I think we beat her with little veggies when it was a like an Ivysaur. Now that I think about it, Sonia was saying something about how amazing you were. I wish I'd paid more attention to what she was talking about instead of looking her up and down. You know what I'm meaning? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Keep it in your pants, Nessa. I bet everyone in Galar's got their eyes on you now. You defeated my team, so now you've got to ride that current all the way to the end. Now, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. The second battle for the first round will begin shortly. Okay. So we are going to face Melanie, and then whoever wins over here. So that's good to know. It's like we didn't know that we were going to be... I guess there probably was a way to check the bracket, but I didn't do it. So after Melanie, we're either facing Pierce or Rayhan, which I think it's always Rayhan. I think Rayhan is always the last guy you face before Leon. Harvester says Nuzlocke also made me terrified of the move Bide and encouraged me to keep boosting moves on my team, or at least status things to stall out Bide. Yeah. Yeah, definitely status moves become a lot more like they become so much more of like a risk reward thing in Nuzlocks. Harvester says I had an Emerald run go real badly when my rival's critter destroyed my heavy hitter with Bide. Yeah. Skippy says it's a rebuilt crossover between Justice League Task Force, made by that Blizzard Entertainment, and Justice League Tournament Fighter. It's ostensibly made by one man. Do you mean TMNT Tournament Fighters? It's ostensibly made by one man with a small support team for art and infrastructure. They've made completely new characters to both games. It runs on a better version of Mugen. Great game, 4-button fighter with 2 super dupers. Or 2 different supers. Not 2 super dupers. It's a flippy dip game with 2 super dupers. Okay, so we're going up against Melanie now. So let's prepare for that. Actually, let's start wrapping up. We'll try to wrap up right at 4, but I don't wanna get stuck in the middle of something. Save. Yeah, so again, for those of you that are joining us just now, the lore is that Petunia has started channeling Eternatus. And that's why she has changed the way she looks. That's why we got this like sort of blue with like fuchsia combination, because that's how Eternatus looks. So yeah, we're starting to see the growing might of Petunia Gmax Petunia. I don't know. Eternamax Petunia. There you go. So yeah, I'll wrap up the game here. Let me just go ahead and close that. Go to the Just Chatums. So yeah. Yeah, Skippy says I did mean TMT Tournament Fighters. I loved TMNT Tournament Fighters like so much. It was like it's my most favoriteest game that I never owned. I used to rent it like as often as I could. We had like a little place that would rent games for pretty cheap. And I used to play Tournament Fighters a lot. So when I saw that it was like this mashup of like, yeah, the old Justice League like fighting game and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, I was pretty excited about it, but I just kind of never gotten around to playing it. Horseman Mine says, as someone who only knows fighting games from the outside, I was fully prepared to believe that Super Dupers was a thing. I mean, it kind of is. Skippy says it's definitely a thing somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure some fighting game has something called Super Dupers, or some aspect of their crowd, like their fans, or their community calls them super dupers. I would not be surprised. Harvest says a super duper is when you pull off a major fake out on your opponent, duping them. Okay, I can see that. Zemsi says, and then sliding that dupe into a clean super move combo. Sure, yeah. Skippy says, and then a super duper breaker is when you break out of someone's dupe with a cross up. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad we're redefining the FGC here. So that's good to see. Skippy says, I highly recommend it. You can download it with one button. Just have to unzip the file and click the exe file. I might try it out. It's been a while. I'm guessing they've probably balanced it a little bit, because that was always kind of a thing, that there was some like really unbalanced stuff. It's like as a kid playing single player, it didn't bother me that things were unbalanced, but I know that for like people that would like play on like couch co-op, it was like there were things about it that was super unbalanced. The FGC can use some redefining toxic AF. Yeah, although redefining terms is not gonna. I mean, unless the terms were already problematic, that's not gonna fix things too much. But you're right. There are some bad sticky corners of the FGC that could use some Lysol, definitely. Horseman says, Skippy, it does sound like you're trying to sell us on some sketchy software. It's just one click. Just unzip the file and find the exe. um, yeah, I can't be responsible for any malware accrued from anything you download. So always be careful, right? It's like, yes, I've seen this before. I'm pretty sure it's legit, but always be careful. Zemzi says, I know the FGC has been trying to clean up. Yeah, definitely. When you look at, maybe I can play some music. When you look at sort of like its luminaries, I think more and more sort of like nicer people have sort of come into their own. You have a few more women now, and that helps, and also queer people, trans people, non-binary people like Sonic Fox. So it's like, so that helps, right? You got like I don't know, like the guys that I follow, your like Kizzy K's and like your JMs and Max Dudes and Anime Illuminatis. Like those guys seem to be pretty squared up. Like I never get the sense that they're like about to say something like really bad, right? Or like Lord Knight, like he's pretty good. The music get too loud? I don't know. So yeah, it really depends on sort of where you're at, and that's the problem with the internet, is you can end up in like a really bad place. There's a guy who I think still might do, but used to do a lot of Mortal Kombat videos, and I liked them. And he made a video that was like very mildly like borderline incel-y, like not too bad, something that you can definitely come back from. But his views went up so much that like it was clear by his next video and his next video that he's like, oh, me getting into this like kind of toxic stuff is like gets me a lot of views. I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm just like, done, unfollow, do not show me these videos anymore, YouTube, thank you. It was kind of sad, and it's like maybe he's straightened out, but I'm like, I'm not putting myself through that, right? I'm not putting myself through like a video where somebody is like 10 things that I don't like about Mortal Kombat 11. And then it's like, I don't like that you don't see big shaboom booms anymore, and that's NetherRealm trying to cuck us into wokeness, right? It's like, I do not need to hear that in a random like 10 things video that I click on because I'm like brushing my teeth, and I need something to watch. Skippy says, oh yeah, he even made a tag mode that said he'll never balance. It's the Wild West. Nice. But years of toxicity takes a while, definitely. Some of the FGC wants to clean up and go legit. Some of them are stuck in their 35 years of toxic behavior and don't want that culture to die out. I know it's like that everywhere, right? Um, but 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 people are gonna drag the FGC into the light and into the future, and I'm very appreciative of that. I am, I'm someone who plays Guilty Gear and a little bit of Street Fighter Five, but I'm not anyone cares about. But I'm always very happy to see that there are a lot of people who do have a big FGC platform and are working hard to get rid of that toxicity. Um, Skippy says like Rivals of Ether because it's got a pretty LGBT plus community because the straights have a stranglehold on Smash. Yeah, I mean that happens sometimes, but that's good. That's how these communities build. And then you can have sort of that community's take on Smash or a Nickelodeon or whatever else they're into, right? So it's like to a certain degree, it's like major spoilers. It's like the highest person in charge of major spoilers is like a white dude, cis straight white dude, but he's a cool guy, and we've had lots of conversations about basically about not making things toxic. And from the beginning, he didn't want the environment to be toxic, and he came in with like that idea to not do that. So major spoilers is generally pretty welcoming to people. Even though you just take two steps over to that side over there, and it's like, bleh, right? It's just like awful stuff. Um, and that you just have that. Like different places build different communities. Um, Zemsi says, what no one remembers about cultures is that they change because if they don't, they die off. Yeah, that's a good point. Zemsi says, not gonna lie, the remodeling of the MK ladies was really nice. I know. Like, I wanted to leave a comment so bad, and I was like, this video is not looking for this, is not actually trying to have a good faith conversation. But Mortal Kombat 11 looks the way it does, not because it's woke and because it's like, oh, women should like be dressed in like normal ways. Because that's what this person is saying is like, oh yeah, if it's so reasonable, then why are they still wearing heels? And it's like, yeah, no, he's kind of right. It's like, so if they're wearing heels, why can't they have ginormous boobies and like basically just pasties on top of them? And it's like, the reason why Mortal Kombat 11 doesn't look like that is not that it's woke, although um, social justice may have something to do with it. The reason why it looks like that is that it's art direction. They decided that they wanted very realistic models so that you could have very realistic, horrendous gore, right? So the only way to do that properly is to have people with real human proportions. The only way to make gore actually something that surprises and impacts people nowadays is to have extremely realistic models that it happens to, right? And the Mortal Kombat 11 characters are extremely realistic. And they've got face like capturing technology, so it looks like that. It looks really good. And it's like that's the reason why they did it. It's, maybe only partially because they're like, well, maybe we shouldn't treat women like objects. But also Mortal Kombat treats literally everything like objects that you can like tear up and step on and set on fire. Let's see. Harvester says it's like how I stopped following Lacey Green years ago when she started on with a very concerning lean from her previous need and sex positive content. Okay. Yeah, not familiar with that creator, but yeah, definitely. It's you gotta protect yourself, and you don't have to put up with anything, right? As a consumer of like videos or whatever, you don't have to put up with anything. But Horsepoint Mine agrees. The person we rated last time was super fun and seems super positive. Yeah, Blacktastic is good. Is really good. Skippy says, like, I sometimes can't tell when it's just kayfabe or when people are being harassed with their callouts and beef. Yeah, it's very hard to tell. Horsepoint Mine says, I've always appreciated that Major Spoilers is a dynamic community and crew. There are some jokes in Critical Hit early on that don't feel great now, but like you guys have grown and changed. Yeah, absolutely. We really have, and we're trying to, right? And of course we apologize for, being lunkheads to begin with. If you listen to old MSPs, we talk about stuff like that. and it doesn't feel great. Like somebody pointed out that I was like a pro-capitalism person, and I was. When we started, I was like, well, capitalism works, right? It's like, well, no, clearly it doesn't. Um, but so somebody's held that over my head before, and I'm like, yeah, if you listen to the whole show, you can see me go from like this like young, naive kind of person to like this like very to like this like much more like jaded person to like somebody who is like just kind of softer and tougher, right? Somebody who has a lot more empathy for other people, but also doesn't suffer fools, right? Um, Harvester says, yeah, we don't have to put up with it. Like, if Pavlov comes out in support of Big Chicken, I will know something is wrong. Yeah. You know that Pavlov's been kidnapped if he's tweeting that he loves Big Chicken. So, that's how you know that Pavlov's in trouble. All right, let me see if I can do so. When you watch the VOD from last week, if you do that, you will see me just kind of sit there like for like 20 minutes because I didn't know how the raid was going to interact with Streamlabs. So let me see if there's someone we can raid. Voxy. Voxy has enough people. She doesn't need a raider. No, I don't. I don't see it. Well, let's go to JM Crofts. If you guys like actually, yeah, let's go to JM Crofts. If you guys like fighting game people, he's a good one. So let's do that. So I press this, and I go to start raid. Raid in 6 seconds. Okay, so I will end my stream after that, and we'll just go over there. Yeah. Raid now.
Someone who discovered